Hello everyone, this is Tanisha from 3rd Sem BCA. So today here I am going to teach about Python APIs, working with APIs and many other things. In this slide we'll see first what is an API. An API is an application program interface, the full form of API, that is used to send and receive data on a server, and it is primarily used to manipulate data and server using external script. Simple example would be how in this slide we will see a simple example like how Spotify, Twitter, etc. have their web APIs or the users to retrieve data using internet. So now to approach in a simplified way, we can call API as an interface to any product where we can have an external program, write a script and manipulate data in various ways. We are actually receiving or updating the values there. For example, Twitter having a web API to retrieve or to send data, we will have an external script, and using that web API, we will be able to retrieve the data from there. That is how API works generally. Now we'll see what are key protocols. API keys is a way to authenticate an application accessing the API without referring an actual user. Some of the key protocols are HTTP, OAuth, API key, or no authentication. What is Git and GitHub? Git is one of the standard version control systems used by programmers to save code and work on code collaboratively as a team. Git helps us to keep track of the change made in our code locally as well as online with the help of some hosts like GitHub, Bitbucket, and so on. It helps us to merge changes made by many contributors into a single source, thus making contributions easier. What is GitHub? GitHub takes its name from Git, where it is cloud-based source code management systems using Git. GitHub is free if you are willing to share your code publicly. Requesting data using an API call. GitHub's API lets you request a wide range of information through API calls. To see what an API call looks like, below is the browser's address bar. So, this call returns the number of Python projects currently hosted on GitHub, as well as information about the most popular Python repositories. The first part, https api.github.com, directs the request to the part of GitHub that responds to API calls. The next part, search or repositories, tells the API to conduct a search through all repositories on GitHub. The question mark after repository signals that we are about to pass an argument. The Q stands for query, and the equal sign lets us begin specifying a query Q is equal to. The final part, and sort is equal to stars, sorts the projects by the number of stars they have been given. The following snippet shows the first few lines of the response. You can see from the response that this URL is not primarily intended to be entered by humans because it's in a format that's meant to be processed by a program. GitHub found 3,494,012 Python projects as of this writing. Because the value for incomplete results is false, we know that the request was successful, it's not incomplete. If GitHub had been unable to fully process the API request, it would have returned true here. The items returned are displayed in the list that follows. which contains details about the most popular Python projects on GitHub. Installing requests. The requests package allows a Python program to easily request information from a website and examine the response. Use pip to install requests. And Python m pip install user requests. This line tells Python to run the pip model and install the requests package to the current user's Python installation. If you use Python 3 or a different command when running programs or installing packages, make sure you can use the same command here. If this command doesn't work on Mac OS, try running the command again without the user flag. That's all with the slides. Thank you.